Hey guys, take a look at this community. It's a middle class, or I would even say high middle class community in China. The apartments for rent here are like $800 per month, and for sale like $500,000 and up, 500 to 600,000. Hello, local kids. And for sale like 500 to 600,000 American dollars. The apartments have 3 big bedrooms in addition to a nice living room. Each apartment has a parking lot, underground parking lot, and people here, there are people here who like have quite not a bad income. I know some people who live here. It's a really great community, freshly built, and it was open, I guess, 5 or 6 years ago. Hello everyone, it's your guy Andrew here, and today we are going to talk why foreigners have been living in China. I want to make a remark. We are mostly talking about Westerners, since China still has got lots of foreigners from Central Asia, from Southeast Asia, right? Those guys, they're not getting fewer. But I'm talking about, primarily I'm going to talk about Westerners like myself. So let's break up the whole thing into 4 situations. And the reasons for that are both subjective and objective, right? The first situation is when guys from the West come here, right? And they get a culture shock. Since the difference between West and China is drastic, right? Chinese people have different background, social, historical background, cultural background, right? Different moral rules, different values. They can tolerate some petty violations. For example, like this guy is chilling out here. They can tolerate some petty violations like not following traffic rules or smoking in very public places like elevators, indoors, right? I got acquainted with one guy from Canada. He's married to a Chinese wife, and actually her parents are from Wuhan. And when he visited them, he by some reason went to a Wuhan local hospital, and he told me that some patients, visitors smoke in the hospital, and he quarreled about that with the doctors. Why do they allow that thing? So like violations of toleration of petty violations, right? Or let's say such situations when certain norms of behavior, certain things are considered to be a norm. For example, like right now in summer, many men, they would roll up their t-shirts and expose their beautiful fat bellies, you know. Or like sometimes certain people, both men and women, spit outside, or like burping after meals, etc., etc. I already don't mention children doing pee-pee or like practically everywhere. So when a Westerner comes here, and especially when they are not like very open-minded, they are not able to adjust to all the situation, and they have a culture shock. And some of them, I would say, like there is like pretty significant percentage, they can't stay here and they leave within 1 year, or they just don't renew their contracts. They leave after 1 year contract, right, without breaking it. That's the first situation. The reasons are subjective and both, like, let's say, also objective, right? People can't tolerate, people can't adjust, people can't bear some of the local habits, rules, customs, norms, etc., etc. So the second type of the situation is when foreigners come here, They don't have any problems with adjusting here. They like, or they can tolerate at least majority of the stuff. They like their job, they like all the conditions, probably they like the salary as well. However, they can't bring, or they don't want to bring their couples with them, their families, right? They are family people, let's say, right? And they left in their home countries their families, children, wife, etc., etc. So it's definitely they can't stay here forever because of this reason. So I know even one situation, I know a couple of such situations where there was a particular 40-year-old guy. He stayed here, I guess, for 3 years. He was satisfied with everything. However, his wife gave birth to the second child, and he couldn't bring them here by some reasons. So he had to leave China to take care of his wife and of his family. And such reasons, they are not very widespread, but such situations also happen when person can't give roots here, when all the roots of the person, all the family members are in their home country. So definitely such people have to return to their home country. The third type of the situation, and I know many of such situations, it's not my case, but I've met such situations and I've heard about such situations a lot. It's Chinese visa policy. Unfortunately, it's not getting better, and many foreigners they don't get denied in visas, right? I would say majority of them, they don't get denied in their proper working visas. However, when they apply for the visa prolongation, they get approval 3 months prolongation, right? Or half a year of prolongation. And it means that after 3 months you gotta collect all your documents again, apply again, and you would get again not a proper 1 year working visa, right? Or 1 year and a half, luckily I got, but just 3 months again. And people get annoyed by that. It's very obvious, right? You can't make any plans, you can't be relaxed, so people get fed up of the situation, and whenever they just have an opportunity or they just make a plan to leave this country and go either to their home country or just to the third country. That's the third type of the situation. And finally, guys, the fourth type of the situation, I would say it's the most painful one for the stable people, for family people who have already built here something, who have some roots here, right? It's again Chinese visa policy. Let's say such people would get their 1 year visa, even 2 year working visa, right? And their situation is here pretty stable. However, it's not 100% stable because China simply doesn't issue green cards for the foreigners. It's practically impossible to get here a permanent residency, with some exceptions. First exception, you gotta be a highly talented person. The second exception is you gotta marry a Chinese citizen, and the third exception is that you gotta be a PhD holder. If you hold a PhD degree, you can get Chinese green card, right? Permanent residency. However, all those exceptions, right, they are not suitable for many people. I would say for majority of people they are not suitable, right? So people stay here for decades. I've been here for almost 8 years. My anniversary will be 8-year anniversary will be just in the matter of a couple of days. I know people who have stayed here for over 10 years, over 15 years, and I've heard about one couple who stayed here for 20 years. However, later they had to move out of China because of this very reason, right? You can work here, right? If you don't have any problem with visa, you just apply for the prolongation each year, get your visa done, 1 year, 1 year and a half, it's all perfect. However, majority of people don't have, majority of foreigners don't have their houses here, right? So practically they just rent houses. Yes, it's true that the rent here is much lower than in the Western countries. However, unlike taking a mortgage, right, people just pay the rent to the landowner, and like instead of paying to themselves, if they were able to take a mortgage. Why they do this? Again, people don't know. Will they be issued a 1 year, 1.5 years working visa, or again they will get like just a 3-month prolongation. The second thing, like 90% of foreigners don't have here their cars, right? They are just using metro. Yes, it's all right to use metro. There is nothing bad with that. They use public transportation, right? However, like, they don't have their cars, they don't have this mobility that they would have if they had, provided they had all that stability that permanent residency gives you. So no matter how much you like a job, no matter like how much you are stable here, how much you like the environment, how much you are satisfied with everything, sooner or later, if foreigners don't marry a Chinese person, a Chinese citizen, they have to leave China. So they return either to their own home country, or in many cases they go to other countries, like go to other countries of the Western world, right? So guys, now I've told you, I've tried to tell you the reasons why foreigners are leaving China, and actually this situation is very relevant for 2023, because before the coronavirus there were lots of Westerners. I'm talking particularly about Westerners, right? And now you like barely see Western people here, right? We should remark also that there is an impact of coronavirus, right? Many people left China before coronavirus, or left immediately after. After all the lockdowns were over, they left China and they probably didn't return. However, like as I told you, anyway, no matter how long you have been here, right, still there is time for everyone, practically everyone. If you are not a PhD holder, or if you're not a super talent, if you are not married to a Chinese person, there is time for everyone to leave China and to search for their place under the sun. Alright guys, please subscribe to my channel. I wish you to have a happy life, and bye for now.